believe you will hold on until I come to save you, Lady Qing. Everything is ready, only the east wind is missing. Suddenly, Wan Mei's eyes widened as she shouted, "Who is it?" Gu Chang'e stepped out from the passage and said, "Chang'e, looks like you're not lazy, you've been diligently cultivating." This made Wan Mei exclaim, "Master." At this moment, Wan Mei was wearing a sexy nightgown. She shyly said, "Master, did you come in the middle of the night for Su Fan's matter?" Gu Chang'e sat on the bed and said, "Is Su Fan that servant? Tell me about his background." While massaging Gu Chang'e, Wan Mei said, "He is someone I found on the road when I was a child. I saw him starving, nearly dying on the roadside, and out of sympathy, I took him in." Gu Chang'e thought, so it was a life-saving benefactor? It seems that this child of destiny is actually connected to Wan Mei. Wan Mei asked with concern, "Master, is there something wrong with Su Fan?" Gu Chang'e slyly said, "The current Su Fan probably isn't the same as the original one. If you want to know the truth, why don't we call him in and ask?" The scene shifted to a grand hall. Wan Mei brought Su Fan in and said, "Master, Su Fan has arrived." The prince thought, did I hear that right? Did Wan Mei just call Gu Chang'e master? She didn't call him that during the day. Su Fan pretended to clasp his fists and said, "I wonder what business young Master Chang'e has with me." Gu Chang'e asked, "May I ask what your name is, fellow Taoist?" This made Su Fan pretend to sweat. He thought, as expected, I can't hide it from him. This person is truly terrifying. Not only his strength, but his status and power are also clear. His words contain immense power. Even now, the ancient 10,000 clans must think carefully. Perhaps he can help me. Then, Su Fan pretended to smile slightly and said, "Haha, young Master Gu truly has a sharp eye. You've discovered this matter." "Indeed, I am not Su Fan." Wan Mei glanced at him and thought, as expected, it's someone else now. Su Fan pretended to say, "Not to hide from young Master Gu, I am Ying Chang. I am actually a direct descendant of the Ying Emperor. From ancient times until now, I have been buried in the palace. I've always been cultivating in the Heavenly Emperor's hall and have never left. This time I don't know why my soul suddenly entered this body. I have always greatly admired young Master Gu." He then kneeled on one knee and said with respect, "From now on, I am willing to follow young Master Gu, doing whatever is necessary for him." Upon hearing this, Wan Mei was shocked and froze. Gu Chang'e, on the other hand, had a satisfied look on his face and thought, so he's a prince of the Ying Emperor's lineage. In his mind, Su Fan pretended to think, thankfully, I'm smart. If the outside world says anything, Gu Chang'e isn't some great villain. Even if he doesn't help me, he probably won't kill me, right? But Gu Chang'e calmly said, "So, you now have nothing left except your memories." As a prince of the Ying Emperor, his value lies only in certain bloodlines within his body. Purple light appeared around Gu Chang'e, and Su Fan pretended to feel a tightening in his heart. Thinking, this aura. He shouted, "Young Master Gu." Then, he prepared to dodge and said, "Please don't kill me. I swear I haven't seen anything. I'm willing to obey you in everything. Whatever it is, I'll do as you command. Young Master Gu, I still have value to you." Gu Chang'e smiled and said, "That's right, your memories still have value." Gu Chang'e showed a wicked smile and said, "But I don't need you alive." In Gu Chang'e's room, the golden soul of the Ying Emperor's prince appeared before him. Gu Chang'e smugly thought, as expected, he is truly a descendant of the Ying Emperor. I didn't expect him to remember so many legacies. If it weren't for the child of destiny swapping souls, obtaining these things wouldn't be so easy. Then, Gu Chang'e lightly touched the golden soul. The soul shot towards the puppets, and its power immediately dispersed into their bodies. A flash of purple light passed through Gu Chang'e's eyes as he controlled them. Thinking, with the support of the Ying Emperor's aura, this is really great. The successor from Ying Emperor Mountain, his status is so illustrious. Now, 5 powerful puppets filled with energy stood opposite Gu Chang'e. Gu Chang'e tried asking, "Smile." Immediately, the 5 puppets all smiled, but their faces looked menacing. Several beams of light flew out from Gu Chang'e's hall, carrying an order, "No time to waste. Take this guardian talisman. Be a bit harsher in your actions." The 5 puppets said in unison, "Yes, Master." Then they immediately left. Gu Chang'e clasped his hands together and walked out of the door, thinking, Wang Zixin, don't disappoint me. The scene shifted to Wang Zixin's vast courtyard. A pressure of light surrounded Wang Zixin, who had just finished her cultivation. She touched the ground with her feet, looked at her body, and said, my body has the perfect celestial spirit physique, flawless. Whatever I cultivate, I progress twice as fast as ordinary people. But why does Gu Chang'e make me feel this illusion, forcing me to want to meet him so eagerly? Wang Zixin, wearing modern clothes, her foam-like outer garment particularly eye-catching, highlighted her long legs. Wang Zixin anxiously muttered to herself, is it because my cultivation is insufficient? She clenched her fists and said, it seems there are some things in this world that can shake me. This is interesting. It's not so easy for someone to catch my interest. In any case, I will pursue this to the end. Wang Zixin took a deep breath. Gu Chang'e, you can't escape from my five-finger mountain. Suddenly, she sensed danger behind her. A very strong and powerful puppet approached Wang Zixin. It then pushed her away, slamming her into a wall. After seeing this, Wang Zixin shouted, Great Sage Realm? She wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth and dangerously said, who are you? How dare you act under the Chongqinggu family's nose? The muscular, powerful puppet responded, I am ordered to obey the master's command and take your life. Wang Zixin looked at the muscular man and worriedly thought, what is my master's identity that even a great sage realm cultivator calls him master? But just as she saw him from afar, in an instant, Wang Zixin saw the great sage realm man appear in front of her, then strike her with a heavy punch that sent her flying. Before she could react, the man tightly grabbed her ankle and swung her like a doll. The great sage realm coldly sneered, do you feel like you've lost the ability to move? Because in this mansion, I have already set up a formation. At that moment, Wang Zixin was like a doll being tossed around, tortured again and again. Wang Zixin weakly thought, damn. He was indeed prepared. As a quasi-saint realm cultivator, I'm still no match for him. I can only delay until someone from the Gu family notices the situation and comes to rescue me. The powerful great sage realm figure charged toward her and shouted, anyone who dares to hinder my master must die. Go die. Gu Chang'e will meet the same fate. Then he landed, ready to eliminate Wang Zixin, but fortunately, she quickly turned and ran in the opposite direction. A seven-colored jewel appeared in Wang Zixin's hand. Wang Zixin shouted, five-colored cow bone. This was a defensive magical artifact. The great sage realm figure suddenly charged toward her. The master was right. You have brought a magical artifact, but today, you won't escape death. Wang Zixin struggled to resist and shouted, who is your master? Do you know my identity? Are you brave enough to bear the consequences of attacking me? The great sage realm's gaze was cold and harsh, his body radiating power as he angrily shouted, ridiculous. You don't deserve to know. Just obediently die. Suddenly, Wang Zixin froze in terror and exclaimed, this demonic aura. Is it the air of the demon palace? As expected, you have more than one person. With just one punch from the great sage realm, Wang Zixin's small courtyard was destroyed, debris scattered everywhere. He smugly said, with just this string of defensive beads, you won't be able to save your life. Wang Zixin fought to suppress the fear in her heart, chanting an incantation, damn, why doesn't this bastard know any words that can help me delay time? She shouted, the Milky Way is 5 colors. As Wang Zixin was about to exhaust all her strength, she despairingly thought, why is the air of the demon palace targeting me? It must be because I haven't exposed my identity yet. Chang'e, wait, this person's aura, the punch from the great sage realm, is full of power. I'm not done yet. With just one punch, Wang Zixin was sent flying. She cried out in pain. Wang Zixin felt disappointment in her heart, damn. I don't want to be trapped here. My life has just begun. I can only rely on it now. She prepared to use her final talisman. However, the great sage realm's foot timely stepped on her, causing the talisman to be destroyed. Wang Zixin cried out in agony. The great sage realm smugly grabbed her foam-like outer garment and laughed, trying to escape. The master already knew you had many escape methods on you. Just behave today. You seem to be in good condition, how about I cripple you first? So I can save some energy, how does that sound? The great sage Realm showed a disgusting smile and said something revolting. I've never tasted a saintess's flavor. Haha. On the other side, Wang Zixin despaired, thinking, I'm a transmigrator, am I not the protagonist? Why is this plot happening to me? Gu Chang'e, controlling the puppets, quietly waited for the right moment, thinking, the time has come. From Gu Chang'e's grand hall, the transmission reached every corner of the Chongqing family. Chang'e, how dare you act boldly and commit murder right under the nose of the Chongqing family? You're asking for death. On Wang Zixin's side, she was constantly in despair, with tears of pain flowing down her cheeks. People who had been resting in various small courtyards ran out, shouting loudly, what's going on? What happened? Qi Ling looked around and said, was that soul shock just now from Brother Gu? Yi Langtian also responded, if I'm not mistaken, it should be from the Chongqing Wang family's direction. Let's go, we should check it out. Immediately, a large amount of light flew toward the Chongqing Wang family. Yu Ming observed from afar and speculated, it seems you've finally started setting things up with Wang Zixin, haven't you? From one side of the Chongqing Wang family's small courtyard, desperate laughter could be heard. The great sage Realm was tightly controlling Wang Zixin. She spoke in a dazed manner, it seems you've already lost. The great sage Realm squeezed Wang Zixin's chin and angrily shouted, lost? I can kill you anytime. Gu Chang'e suddenly appeared and shouted loudly, stop. His punch sent the great sage Realm flying out of the courtyard. Wang Zixin, covered in injuries, his eyes and nose swollen and purple, stammered, Gu Chang'e. I really regret it. I'm sorry, Miss Zixin, that such a thing happened under Gu's watch. The great sage Realm, standing outside the courtyard, shouted loudly, Gu Chang'e. You've repeatedly ruined my master's affairs, and sooner or later, I will take your life. Gu Chang'e retorted. Who is your master? The senior elder of the Chongqing Wang family also rushed over like a flash, slapped out a gust of wind, and angrily shouted, dare to act against the Chongqing Wang family's young lady? Seeking death. Then, a life and death battle scene appeared outside. After a fierce battle, two beams of light continued to fly into the sky. The elder shouted, thief. Don't even think about escaping. The great sage Realm sneered. Elder of the Chongqing Wang family, do you think you can catch me with just your strength? The white-haired old man sighed heavily, do you think you can still leave today? Do you think the Chongqing family is your family's backyard? Gu Chang'e's face turned angry, unable to reply. He raised his hand, preparing to stop, thinking, this old prince really is impatient, I haven't even finished reading the script. In the sky, two violent forces collided. Several subordinates flew up anxiously and shouted loudly, Elder Wang. We're here to help. Everyone gathered at the Chongqing Wang family's small courtyard. Entrance, discussing, another great sage Realm expert wants to assassinate a member of the Wang family? What kind of background does Wang Zixin have? Suddenly struck by the great sage Realm on the Gu family's territory, what exactly happened to Gu Chang'e? Gu Chang'e supported Wang Zixin, who had just been abused like in a domestic violence incident. Wang Zixin also had to worry, shouting loudly, sister. He turned to Gu Chang'e and asked, Brother Gu, who tried to assassinate my sister? We need an explanation for this. Wang Zixin, exhausted, leaned on Wang Wushuang and shouted. Wushuang, this isn't Brother Gu's fault. If he hadn't arrived in time, I'm afraid, Gu Chang'e also sighed and said seriously, it was my negligence. However, I don't know much about this. I just arrived here. He then loudly declared, but don't worry, no one will be able to save that murderer today. He will definitely pay a heavy price. Brilliant explosions continued in the sky. One of the members anxiously shouted, Grandmaster Sun from the independent warship hasn't shown any signs of fatigue. This murderer's strength is terrifying. Wang Wushuang also anxiously said, who exactly is this person? What kind of background do they have? Gu Chang'e looked at Wang Zixin's fortune index of 12,000 and thought to himself, as expected, she's a top-tier woman with fate. After just resting for a while. Her injuries have already recovered about 70 to 80%. Gu Chang'e stepped forward and asked, Miss Zixin, how are your injuries? Are you feeling unwell? She replied, oh, I'm fine. She was secretly shocked, although Gu Chang'e speaks in a gentle tone, there is no warmth in his heart. In the end, he is still protecting the face of the Gu family. Facing such a cold and ruthless person, if one doesn't take the initiative, it seems nothing would happen. In front of her, Guchanga still maintained a cold, indifferent expression. Then, Wang Zichen pretended to shout, "Heavens," and then leaned into Guchanga's arms, saying, "Perhaps I've injured my origin, and I feel a bit disoriented." That was truly dangerous. If it weren't for Brother Gu acting in time, I might have been freezing to death. Although Guchanga was angry, he silently thought, she's overthinking it. Even if I ordered her death, her incredible fortune wouldn't allow it. Guchanga still remained calm on the surface, and said, "I'm truly sorry for today's incident. Ultimately, it's the Gu family's negligence. We will make amends to Miss Zichen in the future." Wang Zichen continued to lean on Guchanga, speaking softly, "Brother Gu needn't blame himself. Even if I wasn't at the Gu family, the other party would have definitely made a move." Guchanga replied. "How should I put it?" Wang Wushwang's face changed as she saw them continuously push and pull each other. Wang Zichen turned to ask Guchanga, "Brother Gu, don't you want to know who tried to assassinate me today?" Guchanga countered, "Is it the heir of the devil's cultivation?" Wang Zichen confidently said, "Haha, looks like Brother Gu already guessed my identity?" "Yes, it is the heir of the devil's cultivation. He targeted the saintess of our human race temple." Someone who had been watching in surprise said, "I didn't expect the Wan family to have a saintess of the human race temple." The bald-headed person also responded. "The attacker is actually the heir of the devil's cultivation, and it wasn't Yi Lang Tian. So that means..." Guchanga speculated, "The heir of the devil's cultivation is really ruthless. The person who appeared this time has reached the great sage realm. It seems, if I'm not mistaken, they must have an organization behind them." Wang Zichen also said wearily, "I have reason to suspect that the Yi Lang Tian who fought with Brother Gu before wasn't the real heir of the devil's cultivation. He might have just been a pawn." Guchanga glanced at her and replied, "Oh, a pawn? But since then, Yi Lang Tian hasn't appeared again. We still can't confirm whether he's alive or dead." Wang Zichen walked forward to observe the battle and said, "His life and death no longer matter. What's important now is to capture the heir of the devil's cultivation and the organization behind them." In the sky, two figures continued their battle. Wang Wushwang said, "Capture this guy alive. After all, he's also a great sage realm expert, he should be able to provide some information." "But Gu Changa countered, "A great sage realm expert isn't so easy to capture." In the air, the great sage realm person was also forced back. The senior elder of the Chongqing Wan family and several subordinates continuously mocked, "Heir of the devil's cultivation. You won't escape today." Another person also said, "Thief. Surrender. 3 great sage realm experts are after you, you can't escape." The great sage realm expert sneered and said, "Heh, you ants won't be happy for long. In the future, you will all become my master's servants." The jewel on his chest began to crack open. Before self-destructing, the great sage realm expert shouted loudly, "My master lives forever, chaos endures forever." The senior elder of the Chongqing Wang family shouted in terror, "Not good, he's going to self-destruct his spiritual energy." Another bald elder also exclaimed, "What? A great sage realm expert is going to self-destruct? This area will be destroyed." The elder shouted at the people standing on the ground, "Run quickly. The impact range of a great sage realm expert is too large. We old folks will try to block it." Guchanga shouted, "Everyone, don't panic, the Gu family's elders have arrived." Immediately, a hand descended from the sky and tightly grasped the great sage realm expert. He shouted, "Supreme Realm." As he self-destructed his spiritual energy, a violent explosion occurred. But the steady hand grasped him in time. One of the senior elders of the Chongqing Wan family exclaimed in surprise, "Is this a powerful expert from the Gu family Supreme Realm?" Another senior elder of the Chongqing Wan family also exclaimed, "With just one move, he eliminated the self-destructing great sage realm cultivator. As expected, it's the Supreme Realm." The people below were also stunned. Before they could react, someone said, "It's over." Is the difference between the great sage realm and the Supreme Realm really this big? Another person responded. Of course, even the heir of the devil's cultivation is no exception. 1. Guchanga sighed, "It's impossible to gather any useful information from him." Wang Zichen coldly responded, even if we capture him alive, we probably won't get any information. If they dared to attempt an assassination on me in the Gu family, they must have been fully prepared. Gu Chang'e agreed.